What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review to this week's episode of My Hero Academia Season 3. I gotta say. This episode is a fucking masterpiece. This is the perfect episode to accompany you when you're about to watch Avengers Infinity War. Because as you guys know, because today I'm gonna be watching Infinity War, so if I sound a little all over the place or a little too excited in this review or SAO or percent of 5 reviews, that's why I'm for my hype for Infinity War and just finishing up this episode. Cause God damn, this episode was so damn good. And so guys, a couple things I actually want to talk about before I begin. Actually, it has actually been confirmed. I saw this on Twitter. I didn't say this on Twitter because, like I said, guys, I've been going off the grid, off of social media just to avoid Infinity War spoilers. But it has actually been confirmed that we are actually going to be getting 24 episodes for Tokyo Ghoul Tokyo Ghoul Season 3. The second half of the episode will be airing in the fall of this year. So, looking forward to that. I'm loving Tokyo Ghoul. And apparently, actually, Studio Period has just been outsourcing a lot of the series to, like, other studios. And they really haven't done that much themselves. Which could explain why the last episode felt really off to me. I mean, I really did enjoy it. There were moments I really loved. But also, the series has kind of had, like, this weird vibe to it. Like, I'm loving it, but it kind of just feels a little off, you know? Maybe that's the reason, or maybe because this is the first time I've actually have the manga now, so I just that could also be in. When I saw Season 1, Season 2, I didn't read the manga, and I still really enjoyed it after I read up to Volume 11 of the manga while I was reading the manga while I was watching on Toonami, so that could have also played a part in that of why I feel like I'm not enjoying it as much, but I'm still loving it. That all could play a part, but anyway. So let's begin, and also another, I remember that apparently, I saw this video from Chibi, he said, the title was, Studio Bones ain't holding anything back for episode 4, and I watched a little bit of it, I was like, okay, the news has dropped about, spoilers for this week's episode, I was like, okay, I'm not watching this, not because I just don't want to be spoiled, but I'm not really super excited, I don't really care enough to really read spoilers on episodes, because I don't want to get spoiled, and they really are more or less just synopsises of anything else for the episodes, so I was like, whatever. After watching, yep, Bones was not holding anything back. Lord have mercy. Man, a lot of shit went down in this episode, so let us begin. So we start this episode off with Koda. He kind of has a little bit of a flashback where Shinon tells him, hey, Koda, one day you will understand heroes, and one day you will understand why we do. One day someone will come and save you and risk their life to save you, and he's like, nobody like that really exists. And then, of course, then we did the footage procedures plan like I did last week with the shadowy figure coming into the frame. Then we see the other the Stain wannabe and the other guy who has Pixie Bot down on the ground, and Deku's charging right at her. He's like, Pixie Bot. The tiger steps and stops him, and and he's like, oh crap, where's Koda? Then we go back 5 minutes where we see Eraserhead with, Kirishima, Kaminari, and the others, and he's tasting them for their, pretty much their after-school tutoring, because they're, really falling behind the rest of the class. And then, when they arrive to the room, there is Nato Monoma from Class 1B. He's like, oh, look at here! There's 5 members of Class 1A, and only 1 member from Class 1B! All of you must be wallowing in shame! The man's losing his mind. I feel like he's getting a little too obsessed over the differences between Class 1A and Class B. This man's like, all of you must be wallowing in shame! I'm like, bro, relax, you failed too. Okay, what's this? He's trying to act like, oh, you guys are not superior to us. No. I mean, look at this. There's 5 of you and only 1 of me. This man's crazy. I love him, but he's crazy. So then, after everyone sits down, Shinon actually uses her telepathy or telepath. I'm just gonna use telepathy to tell everyone, hey, we got some villains over here. About helping us out? So Eraser tells the other guy to, like, keep the kids here, protect them, and Eraser goes out there. Then we see the dude with, like, the skin, like, stapled to his face. I forget his name, and his corpse looks like it's flames. So he's kind of like Eraser. It's like erase, but it doesn't actually erase. So he gets just he gets blasted point blank range with his flames. So then we get back to the Stain wannabe. So, like, oh yes, you all keep your mouth shut. We're deciding that we are I can't speak. So we are deciding whether or not to have Pixie Bot live or die. So then we have their fight scene with, Tiger's like, he's over there like, I will not let you use the same trick twice. And and actually, fun fact, if you guys didn't notice, apparently Tiger was supposed to be a girl. Now, when I saw it, now, Chiba didn't really elaborate on this, so I don't know if he was originally a girl, then, became a dude, like he's trans them, or Horikoshi originally designed him as a girl, but he was like, you know what, let's have a little fun here, then turn him into a big muscular dude on this team. So whatever the case, yeah. Little fun fact for any anime always or manga readers that didn't know that. So then Deku takes his leave to go to Kota. And when we get back to him with Kota, oh my god, the episode is so damn good when we get to that part. But I'll talk about that part when we get to that part. So then we get back to Class B with Tendo. She has her big fist covering the guy so that they don't breathe in the gas. She's like, trying not to breathe again, but she's still kind of breathing because she's coughing and opening. So then Tetsu and Ibari, they show up and and she's like, how do you guys get the mask? She says that Momo created them and he brought a bunch, so they put their masks on. Tetsu's like, you know what? Kendo's telling him, like, okay, we need to get back to camp, but Tetsu's like, nah, I'm staying here and I'm fighting. He's talking about, like, that even though Class 1B and Class A, they take the same courses, take the same education, same everything, he asks why are they superior to us? And that's because they've been through a lot more shit. The sports festival, the shit in season 1, the Stain incident. 1A has been through a lot more shit than, pretty much say that, like, while 1A is over there risking their lives to, save people, we're over here sitting on our asses, not really doing anything. And Tetsu tired of that, so he's like, he powers up and goes into the fray to, help out the others. Then we get back to Kota, and like I said, guys, and I gotta say, guys, the music in this episode was absolute. The music was GOAT status in this episode. It was so damn good. So Kota, he's like, he's like being approached by this big guy, by this big dude in a cloak, and Shino's trying to talk to him via telepathy, telling, hey, Kota, get the fuck out of there. And get the fuck out of there. Can't come over there. I'm sorry, but, try and get the fuck out of there. And the guy's like, hey, I came up here to find to find a good vanboy. And yet here I find someone that's not on our list. Nice hat, kid. Want to trade me for this lame mask? And Kota's like, he runs, and then the guy jumps ahead of him. Then we have a flashback to Kota when he was a kid. To when we see Kota watching the news talking about the death of his parents. And they show off the man that killed him. The same man that's right in front of him right now. And while the news report's going on, we cut back to Kota and back to the news report as Kota's like, crying, and the guy's charging right at him, and then Deku comes in with the save, and the cracks, and it breaks, but the landing breaks his phone. Hence, we should always have a case on your phones, children. Always put a protective case on your phone so this doesn't happen. So Deku says, and he's like, oh crap, I just came here to see if Kota's okay. Now I got this guy. Now I got this big dude to deal with. Okay, let's try and evaluate the situation. Deku tries to think of some plan, and he uses one for all. Tells him, "Don't worry, Kota. I promise everything will be okay." The usual thing that heroes say. We then cut back to Todoroki and Bakugo, and where they're pretty much, they're wondering, like, hey, they're probably like they're covering their mouths from the gas, and then they actually see a hand that has blood on it, And then we see the guy. I don't know this dude's name, but it's like his face is kind of, you only see his mouth. He looks like something out of like out of a horror movie. And he just kind of looks at him, and then we cut back. Okay, then we also cut back to Shinon and talk about their battle and this. So we're just gonna skip that part. And the fight itself was pretty good. I like the part when she uses the telepathy and she says, "Hey, I forget the Stain Wannabe." He's like, "Hey, Stain Wannabe, even though you're a villain, you're really cool." Totally. By the time he starts blushing. Anyway, back to the battle itself. So the dude, he's like, "Oh, the name's Midoriya, right? You're on my list. We can take some initiative and kill you." So then he summons his quirk, which is pretty much just, he hulks up pretty much, where extra muscle fibers go around his body to give him some extra strength and extra speed. And he just comes in and and hits Deku, but he hits his left arm, but throws him into the wall. And at this point, the dude is just whooping Deku's ass. Deku does not really put him up for a fight. He's constantly giving him shit. Like, "Oh yeah, didn't you say that it's gonna be okay? Don't make promises you can't keep." And he also has "Hey, you know where I can find Bakugo?" Now apparently there's a theory going around that this dude is actually Bakugo's father. I'd say I'm in with that theory. I mean, I could definitely see the resemblance, and why else would this dude want Bakugo? There hasn't been much. Bakugo really hasn't done much in Hero Walker that's kind of on the levels of stuff that Deku has done. So that's possible. He's probably his father. I can definitely see the resemblance. And so then he uses One for All at 100%, and he asks, and Kota throws a rock at it. It's like, "Hey, water hose, do you remember them? You killed my mom and dad." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, they're the reason I have this artificial eye now." And he says "Sorry, kid, it was nothing personal. I just like killing people. And what happened was the result of all of us going at our best." And Deku's "I won't," jumps right at him and hits him with One for All at 100%, yes, 100%. And he's like, "I won't let you hurt him," and punches him right in the face, sending him flying into Kota, but Deku manages to grab him by his teeth. Or he uses his teeth to grab his shirt while he's right about to fall off a cliff. And so he so he thinks that he's taken him out, at least long enough for Deku to get out of there. But he's like, "Let's get back to camp." And the dude's like, "Ugh," he gets back up nothing. I was like, "Kid, that was strong, but didn't do much damage." And Deku's like, "Oh, I hit you with the 100%. And so he tries to get Kota out there, but the dude keeps him grounded. He thinks of a plan of maybe bring him to Mr. Aizawa so he can erase his quirk, but he doesn't have the strength to do that. So he has to stay here and fight him head on, which is what Deku does. And the music, Jesus Christ, the music for this part, it gave me chills. It gave me chills. And so Deku was like, "Kota, I'm gonna take care of him, and I want you to run." So what he does is, and the dude puts this thing over his artificial eye, I guess raises his power level that much higher. And so Deku's tells Kota to run, and he uses One for All at 100% again, and they just charge at each other, and it's pretty much like a beam struggle in Dragon Ball. And they're just Deku is trying his hardest to at least stall long enough for Kota to get away, but Kota isn't moving an inch. He's just trying to tell Deku, and Deku's just telling him, "Run, Kota! I won't let him get past me! Run!" And the dude eventually manages to overpower Deku, and Deku's like, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry, All Might." The dub, Funimation, you have outdone yourselves once again with this dub. Oh, it's great. And like I said, the music, this shit was giving me chill. Like I said, guys, this is the perfect episode to accompany you when you're about to watch Avengers Infinity War. So, Deku, but then Kota manages to, spray him with some water, and, he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'll get to you when I'm done with him." And then he uses the opportunity to use One for All at 1,000,000%, and just punches him, sends him, and knocks him out. And Kota's and then the flashback returns of when Shino was talking to him about, "Hey, you will eventually meet a hero. That you will eventually meet someone, a hero that will risk his life for you to save you." And Deku and Kota is like, "Why? You don't know me. why did you risk your life to save me? And then at the end he says, my hero, which is the title of the episode. Like I said, guys, this episode was fucking amazing. Without a doubt, my favorite episode of My Hero Academia Season 3. My favorite episode of My Hero Academia, period. I don't know if I did the top of it. And while I was watching this episode, like I said, it was giving me chills because Deku in this whole episode was like Spidey. And you guys know how much I love Spider-Man. And I wouldn't be surprised if one of Horikoshi's biggest inspirations was Spider-Man when he was creating Deku. Because like, if you saw the Jump review, you know the man loves Spider-Man. Like, he has so much Spidey shit. And like this, and him, you know, and the way Deku just handled this whole thing remind me of exactly how Peter would handle the same situation if he was against a foe like this, like when he was facing off against the Juggernaut in the comics, or it's like you don't know, where he doesn't know if he can defeat him, but somehow he managed to do it. And it's just awesome to watch. Watching this, I desperately want to see these guys in the MCU more than ever. Like I said, guys, I did a separate video like on the crossover it had with Avengers Infinity War. If you have not seen the video, I will leave it in the art cards above. I also talk about how I would personally bring My Hero Academia into the MCU, because, oh god, I definitely want him in the MCU after this moment, because I felt like I was watching Spider-Man. You guys know I'm about to Spidey. And I'm so hyped to see Infinity War later today. So yeah, so my final verdict for this week's episode is a 10 out of 10, of course. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new, follow me on Instagram, Twitter if you like, links in the description below, and as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.